Good news, YouTube! Kentucky Fried Air back. I'll quit doing that eventually, but I just can't get enough of that guy off of Shogun 2. Shogun 2 had some of the catchiest stuff in it. Like, shameful display. I mean, you just couldn't beat some of that stuff. So yeah, since I've been playing the Saga campaign, I get some of that back in my mind. But yes, I do suppose we should hop into another 2 versus 2 match on Total War Rome 2. This match was definitely a match between 4 southern gentlemen who all enjoy the excellent taste of 11 herbs and spices on golden fried chicken. No, just okay. All right, really, I've had enough. I should probably be getting paid by Kentucky Fried Chicken at this point. Let's see. So this is actually a kind of a large fund. So not like a normal large funds at 11. I think it's like 11,700 or something like that for normal large funds battle. This one's like 18,000 is what they set the talents to on it. I've got 2 noble horse on this flank, 2 on the other flank, so a total of 4 noble horse. I've got 5 Celtic warriors, 1 in no, maybe it's just 4 Celtic warriors. Yeah, I think it's 4 Celtic warriors. I think 6. No, I do have another Celtic. No, 4 Celtic warriors. I think I have 6 chosen swordsmen. Yes. Ooh, 7 chosen swordsmen, and then 4 Oathsworn. So 4 Oathsworn, 7 chosen swordsmen, 4 noble horse, 4 Celtic warriors, no skirmishers because it's a high funds battle. And infantry is quite powerful in Rome too. Now my teammate takes a very odd Spartan army here. He's got 5 citizen cav in wedge formation, all with multiple upgrades. He's got 2 mercenary Rhodians, and then his front line is a bunch of hoplites and phalanx. So they're slowly marching up. Let you see his Spartans here. So he's got Spartan hoplites with a silver chevron, Spartan hoplites silver, Spartan hoplites single silver, Royal Spartans with a bronze chevron, Spartan hoplites silver, Spartan hoplites silver, Spartan hoplites silver. Over here he's got 2 heroes of Sparta with a single chevron, backed up by 3 mercenary Cretan archers. He's playing against the Iceni, and his Iceni opponent has 3 chosen swordmen up front, backed up by 4 heroic nobles, 2 painted ones, a heroic rider general, and then this is an odd choice, taking chosen spear band. May have been a good choice against the Arverni. I don't think the chosen spear band, though, are ever a good choice. Not 3 of them. Yeah, he probably just would have done better to spend more money on swords, because Sparta is going to have a pretty tough front line, but they're spearmen, and so more swords would help you cut through them. He's got 3 veteran riders and a heroic rider over here, though, so a decent cav contingent. Definitely has the Spartan outmatched in cav. My Roman opponent here has 5 armored legionaries down the center, 2 Praetorian Guard on this flank. He's got another Praetorian Guard, 2 more Praetorian Guard on this flank. He's got a total of 4 Triarii, which is an odd pick again. Going against, well, it's an odd pick going against the Gauls because you know you're going to be coming up against a ton of swords. And spears in Rome 2 aren't crazy effective versus cav. They're good versus cav, but I mean swords can do you almost as much good. So I don't see the point in bringing these high tier spears. We'll see how that works out. He's got 3 auxiliary cav and then general and bodyguard. So I feel pretty comfortable facing off against the Roman, and the reason I do is because he's got no meat shield units in front of these armored legionaries or his Praetorian Guard. Now, if I were my opponent, the very first thing I would do seeing my army here, and it's a risk still, because number 1, I have huge infantry numbers on the Roman player here because he's opted for 2 Syrian archers, and the 2 Syrian archers could be helpful if they can kill my general. But what you're going to see me do here is meat shield with a Celtic warrior to absorb Pilla and archer fire. And then I'm going to get a nice, clean, open field charge with my Oathsworn and absolutely smash his armored legionaries in the center. Even a Praetorian Guard would suffer badly versus my Oathsworn here. So he's now going to actually target my general, or no, he's not targeting my general. Yeah, he is targeting my general. But he's not going to do a lot of damage. His archers get kind of caught up here a little bit, so my Celtic warriors charge in. Any kills they get is just a bonus. But basically, they're absorbing Pilla from the Roman troops and going to make them less effective versus my Oathsworn. And I'm timing it to where my Oathsworn come in right behind this unit when it routes. They actually did manage to get 15 kills. So my Oathsworn get really nice javelins. They do eat some javelins from this armored legionary, which is bad. But the rest of my Oathsworn are going to get a pretty clean engagement here. getting very, very clean charges, which is going to be very key to my Oathsworn winning this battle. So let's just watch the charge up close here. So my Oathsworn are going to really come in with a vengeance here. The Armored Legionnaires will lose that, and I'm just holding on the flanks because I feel confident I can shatter his center. And if my opponent makes a move towards his center, then I'll collapse on his flank. So basically I'm just waiting to see what happens in the center. I send one cav over here because the Roman player sent a cav into the back lines of my Spartan teammate and actually managed to get a hold of some of his skirmishers. I'm microing elsewhere, which is why I haven't quite caught up to these guys just yet. So I'm going to get into them, and I'll easily kill the auxiliary cav. I'm using the Vercingetorix abilities on my Oathsworn. I know it'd be best if all my troops were engaged, but I feel like it's really important for me to cut through. No, I haven't used the Vercingetorix ability. I thought I had. I'm using this to yeah, I thought I did. Maybe I already used it. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm cutting through his Armored Legionaries very well. Now I'm going to go ahead and start engaging his flanks, now that I know I'm about to break, because I know my Chosen Swordsman won't last for long against these units. So by my opponent not bringing meat shields and then giving me the opportunity to smash his center, his very strong flanks are now going to suffer, whereas otherwise they probably could have done pretty well. But I can also go 2 for 1, so 2 Chosen Swordsmen to a Praetorian Guard. And that's going to really help me out here. And then my cheaper sword units can assist the cav and keep his Triarii busy. So this is going to end up being a really excellent engagement for me. But I mean, you can see here, well, these are just Celtic warriors. Again, just kind of softening up the Armored Legionaries and taking some pilla from the Praetorian Guard. So now here comes the team up on the Praetorian Guard. And then I've got another Chosen Swordsman waiting to engage these Armored Legionaries after they've been softened up by the Celtic warriors. So this is going to end up working out really well for me here. But he does move his Syrian archers over and start taking shots, so that's a smart move. But you can see I've busted through his center. My general is now free, and then I've got another unit that's about to be free over here. I was using shield wall on these units, and now I've popped the Relentless, which boosts the attack of all my units a decent chunk. But you can see these units that aren't engaged, obviously it's not a good thing, but it's okay. Here, his Triarii actually comes forward without me seeing, and I have a charge order on his Armored Legionary, so I'm actually going to lose quite a few Chosen Swordsmen because I had a misclick here. Not sure why he decided to charge his Triarii out all of a sudden. I'm about to line up a deadly, deadly rear charge here with my Oathsworn, and we're gonna watch that. And then of course now I'm gonna really collapse in on his flank. His cavalry's gone. All he's got's a Triarii. I'll just use a cheap Celtic warrior on it while I double team all his Praetorian Guard with Chosen Swordsmen. And you're gonna see that 2 Chosen Swordsmen are gonna easily take down a Praetorian Guard, especially whenever I'm gonna swing around with heavy cavalry right into his back. He does get his Triarii into a spear square, which means they're gonna last for quite a while. But here comes a very beautiful rear charge by my noble cavalry, and that is no slouch cav. It's not shock cav, but it's heavy and it's got a good charge bonus, so this is going to be painful. So yeah, you can see we just laid down pretty much that whole Praetorian Guard. So yeah, very beautiful graphics actually there too. We're going to absolutely flatten this Praetorian Guard. So these guys would have been a very tough opponent for the 2 Chosen Swordsmen, potentially even 1, but now they're going to die. And I'm not doing as well on this flank because my opponent, he actually he pulled through me a little bit with these Triarii. I don't think he meant to. He was just trying to get to this one. And his general whipped around ahead of my noble horse and got a rear charge and is going to take out a Chosen Swordsman. It's no big deal. If I lose this flank at this point, it doesn't matter because my opponent is losing hardcore on this flank. So I'm going to have plenty of troops to divert back over here. And then I can just keep him busy with what few troops I have over here for the time being. So yeah, we're doing just fine. Doing just fine. And this Chosen Swordsman's already gotten 53 kills on the Armored Legionaries so far, so not bad for a Chosen Sword. Armored Legionaries are a very tanky unit. There's one Roman cav here that he's yet to bring back into the fight, and like I said, now you can see I've wrapped up everything over here except for the Triarii, and a Triarii in a square like this is actually very time consuming to take out. I could just ignore it and pull my troops away, but I'm going to go ahead and finish them. So yeah, I'm going to get in here and just finish the Triarii because I have these Chosen Swords that I can transfer to the center for the time being. And I'm just keeping my cavalry here to fend off his troops from really committing back into this fight against my general. Because if I can keep my general alive, it's good, and that's why I sacrificed this Oathsworn as well, just to keep my general alive. I'm going to go into Headhunt just to make sure that he doesn't rout easily, so that this unit can hopefully get a few more kills. He's not really getting a ton of kills here, though. Might be because I have him in shield wall, I don't know. He's getting a few kills. But yeah, you can see my cavalry are going to start feinting attacks on his flanks just to try and keep him from retreating. But I'm going to be careful about how I engage here because there's no reason for me to get my noble horse killed. And yes, I will take you over to let you watch the other side of the fight as well, so that's why I'm not showing it at the moment. I'll let you see what happens between Sparta and the Iceni. Of course, you can always watch the mini-map too. Yeah, again, this Oathsworn doing a good job of just getting a few more kills and holding up these enemy troops, which means that my general should live. The Triarii won't be getting many kills against my general, so these two Triarii in a square, look how long they're lasting against overwhelming odds. I mean, with 95 armor and 79 melee defense, 75 morale, they won't kill much, but they will live for a long time. So I'll go ahead and fast forward and just kind of show you what's going to happen here. A little bit laggy when we fast forward. So my noble horse are going to easily take out what's left of this auxiliary cav. Auxiliary cav is no match for the noble horse. I almost feel like this high funds battle favors the Arverni more than the Romans. That may not be entirely true, but the reason I say that is because it allows me to bring more Oathsworn. And Oathsworn are, if they get a good charge, they are just superior to the Roman units. If the Roman units get an effective meat shield and they engage an Evocati or a veteran legionary against the Oathsworn after it doesn't get a charge, now that's a different story. So it is possible for the Romans to win these engagements, and the Arverni aren't as good as, say, like the Boii. The Boii would be very dangerous because the sword followers are much better than the chosen swordsmen. So yeah, I mean, but the Arverni are a match for Rome potentially on open ground. Though if it was in a forest, I would give the advantage to Rome every time, just because the Arverni would have a difficult time getting their charges. So in this case, the Roman's going to get wrapped up, and the fact that I could bring 4 Oathsworn pretty much just guaranteed I could smash his center. And had he brought meat shields, which probably would have been Hastati or a cheap spear unit, that's where I can come in with the Celtic warriors and get rid of his meat shield. So there's ways, I feel like it's easier for the barbarian player to deal with the Roman meat shields than it is for the Romans to deal with the barbarians. On open ground, that is. Now, I would feel very comfortable in a forested, hilly kind of map to take the Romans against barbarians. Alright, so I'm going to charge the enemy heroic rider general from the Iceni. See the Gauls versus the British troops here. Britanni troops. And the enemy general is going to die in this engagement. I don't know exactly where he's at, but he goes down. So two very heavy cav units facing off, but mine had more numbers and feasibly should win that. And it's at this point where I have all my troops back together. The Roman's like, alright, bring it, one last stand. He's got 2 Praetorian Guard up front and an Armored Legionary behind. I almost feel like he should put his Armored Legionary up front just to... Well, actually, he should probably put his Triarii up front to absorb the charge of my swords, but he doesn't. Maybe the Armored Legionary in front to absorb the charge of the swords and then come in with the Praetorian Guard. He doesn't have a lot of options, though, because I have cavalry and superior infantry numbers. His Praetorian Guard are good units. They can dish out a beating, but they're also kind of tired, and they're not going to get time to rest. I have this Oathsworn, which is also pretty tired, but then I've got these 2 chosen swords that are pretty fresh and ready to fight. You see the Praetorian Guard, though, very nice attack stats, very nice. The Triarii actually have higher armor and better morale, because they're in square. But yeah, much better melee defense on the Triarii, but also partly because they're in square. Okay, here comes my tired Oathsworn. They're actually going to get in here and cause this Praetorian Guard to waver, believe it or not. So those Praetorian Guard are not quite as tough as they think they are. And I also have Headhunt back, so this unit's going to stay in here and basically fight to the death. Still get me a pretty fair number of kills, and then I'm going to charge in with the Chosen Swordsman to really lay it down. I've got a Celtic warrior waiting to get his Triarii, because I know that they're going to want to come out of square to stop this brutal rear charge. So the Romans are getting beaten up quite badly here. I think their general may have dismounted right there. Yeah, and then the Triarii comes out of shield and then gets rear charged by my Celtic warriors. So it's just an absolute Roman slaughter here at this point, with the Gauls just absolutely finishing off what was left of the Romans. So let me show you the results there from mine. And so obviously you can see that the Spartan did best, the Iceni player, but we'll go watch it just real quick. And you can see here, Noble Horse getting nice kills, Celtic Warriors doing their job. Obviously a couple of my chosen swordsmen, these are the ones that got charged and didn't do so well, but my Oathsworn cleaning house on very nice Roman units. We'll check out the Spartan player here in a second. Here's the stats on the Roman player, so you can get a feel. So his Cav was able to accomplish very little. His Praetorian Guard, a couple of them got some decent kills, but 2 of them did not. And then his infantry just got mauled, and his archers weren't able to pay off either. So let's quickly check that out from the other point of view. I may do some fast forwarding just to get straight up to the action, so this video is not too terribly long, but I don't think you all probably mind a slightly longer online battle, so you get to see a little more play out here. So we'll fast forward. Still going to be slow and fast forward just because there's so many units on the battlefield. Yeah, we'll let the armies close the distance before I hit play. That way it doesn't take too terribly long here. And I'm just going to shut my mouth before it gets there because there's not much else for me to say at the moment. I know that's pretty unbelievable to hear air be quiet, but... Okay, let's check it out. So the Spartan player's all lined up. He's got his Rhodian slingers, all of his Spartan hoplites, and a nice little hoplite phalanx here. Though the hoplite phalanx always would have looked cooler if they would have tightened up their shields and gotten the spear over their shoulder, like you would imagine it would have been in a real Greek phalanx. Here the Rhodian slingers are opening up on the Iceni troops. They're not going to cause a wild amount of damage, but this does pick away at the hit points of the Iceni player. Let's see what's going on the flank. The Cretan archers have opened fire on the spearmen. Again, they'll do a little bit of hit point damage, but probably not a lot of... Oh, look at this. Big cavalry engagement here. All the Spartan citizen cav going in headlong. The heroic riders not getting the best charge, as well as some of the veteran riders not getting the best charge. So the citizen cav will actually do better here for longer than expected because of that. And it looks like it would have made a lot more sense for the Iceni player to just ignore the heroes of Sparta and have simply brought his spears into this cav engagement and then wheel the cav through here to keep his Cretan archers from firing. And then he could have easily wrapped up this cav fight and gotten his cav over here behind the enemy troops. So that seems like a big time miss for the Iceni, and those Cretan archers are starting to take a toll now. Yep, this is what he should have done all along. Not sure why he waited for them to kill 40 of his guys, but he is chasing with the citizen cav. This is good because that means the heroic rider is going to kind of be ignoring the citizen cav and going after the archers. This engagement is going to easily go in favor of the heroes of Sparta. The only kills the spear band will get for the most part will be off the charge because they have an excellent charge for a spear unit. They have an okayish charge for a spear unit. The Spartans actually the Spartans outdo them big time. So yeah, I expect the heroes of Sparta are going to clean house on these guys. And then look at this, disengaging from this cav fight with 2 citizen cav, and now he's actually going to start hurting these heroic riders. And then over here, the veteran riders are not doing nearly as good as... I think the citizen cav has more armor. It does. And that actually might play out in favor of the citizen cav because it has so many chevrons. Wow. Would never expect citizen cav to win. And then the Iceni player here goes straight into the Spartan phalanx and for some reason is not outflanking with heroic nobles, which would again easily swing this in his favor. And then ambushers, same thing, get them around, let them drop their javelins, and again, easy victory over the Spartans here. So the Iceni player is throwing a lot of bones. This heroic rider comes over here and wastes time in the cav fight again, around, rear charge. Kill the slingers, rear charge. He does have to worry about my rider here, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But now these heroic riders are really going to get wrapped off because my noble horse comes in. So I'm actually going to end up saving a fair number of his Cretan archers. Yeah, this fight's going very well for the heroes of Sparta, as expected. Let's take a look at some of this barbarian on Spartan action here. You see the Spartan hoplites holding out quite well. They'll actually get a small bonus versus infantry, and the Iceni player is going to commit more troops. These are the ambushers. These guys do not want to go head on with Spartan hoplites because of their low armor. And they should really... Oh no, no, he's just going to blob in more troops against the Spartans. Oh my gosh, the Iceni is just playing right into the Spartan, you know, like Thermopylae tactics here, and there's not even terrain driving it. Spartan player is getting everything he needs to win here. So these Spartans are getting the exact type of engagement that they want, which is head-on with low armor troops in a shield wall. They'll actually get way more kills than they normally should. An outflanking maneuver here would have absolutely disintegrated this Spartan line. Absolutely disintegrated it. Wow. Now he is moving some heroic nobles to the flank. Let's see what happens. The citizen cav's getting wrapped up here, so there's still obviously a chance that he... Well, no. Now this Spartan cav's free, as well as my noble horse. Yeah, this Spartan player's in bad shape. I don't even know what happens to my noble horse, because I haven't paid real close attention to it, obviously, because I was microing on the other flank. The heroic noble's working, but these slingers are going to be able to ruin the heroic noble. He badly needs this cav over here to get rid of these slingers, because if these guys turn their back to get into this infantry fight, they're going to get hammered by Rhodian slingers, and that is not a unit you want firing at your back. They have excellent armor-piercing damage for a missile unit, and very fast reload and solid missile damage. So these heroic nobles are going to get in here behind these Spartan hoplites and start to wrap that up. But he, again, didn't. If he would have spread out wider, he could have had a lot more impact here. He's kind of in thick blocks, which are good for maneuvering. They're just not as effective in these rear charges. Look at these heroic nobles just getting picked apart by Rhodian slingers from behind. Oh my gosh. That's almost just painful. These guys are taking a bath in bullets from the Rhodians. They may not even rout that Spartan hoplite. Wow, they're getting owned. The ambushers finally coming around the other flank here to potentially get a rear charge. Again, though, they're in a very maneuverable blocky formation, but a charge is going to be better in a wider formation. And I don't know if these guys have already wasted their javelins, but they should have saved their javelins to throw them into the back. Oh, and now the ambushers are going to eat the wrath of the Rhodians. If they do, these guys are going to die in droves to the Rhodians, because you can see that their bare backs are facing the Rhodians. This would be exposing their kidneys and spleen in no time. Nope, nope, the Rhodians are going to pick the more sinister target here, which is the heroic noble, so a good choice. Rhodians are going for high-value targets. His flank's getting wrapped up pretty hard here, but I did a rear charge on these elite spearmen and finished them off, so now his heroes of Sparta are free. And this noble horse here has 76 kills. And it's going to now be able to come over and assist in this fight too. But yeah, the Spartans here holding on for an exceptionally long time. But again, it's because the Iceni player just fed his troops right into the front of the Spartan phalanx. The only way that could have been worse is if that was Spartan pikemen. But still not a good scenario. You can see these ambushers not even doing all that well in a rear charge because they didn't spread out and get a proper charge bonus. So now their low armor is not going to help, because the Spartan hoplite's high armor and good defense is going to make it very difficult for these ambushers to get kills. The heroic nobles over here and ambushers are getting just absolutely cleaned up. Rhodian slingers up to 152 kills here and 86 here, and those are good quality kills too. However, he is kind of hitting his own Royal Spartan in the back with a little bit of that fire, but it's still doing its job. This Royal Spartan's got 121 kills and holding out quite admirably. This is where I think I get my noble horse and start to pull it around to come help the Spartan player. Oh, please don't tell me you're going to charge this general right into the front of Spartan hoplites. Okay, no, he's just going to use the ability. I was like, please don't pull an AI move there. Alright, here comes my my noble horse for a rear charge on all these British troops who just have their back exposed to a... Oh, this is going to be painful. This is a heavy melee cav charge. The only thing that could be worse is a heavy shock cav. Oh yeah, you can see the weight coming from that, just absolutely pummeling the British troops here. Insta-waver, insta-rout on the one, and then the heroic nobles insta-rout. This cav charge from the citizen cav's not going to be all that good because he's in diamond and shouldn't be, but it'll help finish off the heroic nobles. And then I'm going to cycle my heroic my noble cav around here into the back of more of his heroic nobles. Look at these ambushers, can't even finish the job while rear attacking the Spartan hoplite, where they were rear attacking. I think the Spartans turned around. Ambushers are a decent unit. They're not meant to be a head-on infantry attack. They're meant to get into the flanks of an enemy, throw their javelins into their back, and then charge from behind. They're really not meant for that kind of scenario. So here comes the noble horse. Let's get out of the paint mode, click this unit. Watch the rear charge from horse cam here. Oh yeah. So you can see getting them spread out like that will really just help inflict extra damage on the charge. Especially when you're rear charging against a fixed unit, you might as well get spread out to where they'll do as much damage as possible. So that's several heroic noble units that this noble cav has taken out. 206 kills now. 207 climbing. And then the rest of the Iceni troops are on the route now. And at this point, all that was left was the Roman troops on the other side. So I'm just going to fast forward, let you watch this wrap up. Even the mercenary Cretan archers jumping into the brawl. So the Spartan player here really getting a boon by the Iceni player kind of playing right into his hand. Whenever this battle started and I looked at the Spartan army, I was like, man, there's no way he's going to have a chance against the Iceni, and I was very worried how that would go. But it looks like in this case that both my opponent and my teammate's opponent kind of gave us the ability to get an edge on him that they could have made a lot more difficult for us. It was a fun battle. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'm enjoying these 2v2s. There's the stats of the Spartan player. The Cretan archer's not getting a particularly large amount of kills, and one Rhodian slinger getting wiped out, but these two got excellent kills. This Heroes of Sparta here got a lot of kills as well. And honestly, these Spartan hoplites got a pretty impressive number of kills, all things considered, what they were up against. Royal Spartans did okay too. And his citizen cav survived during that fight, and I certainly never thought they would there either. Hope you all enjoyed this. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.